Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers to a Pluto reading. And this is a viewer request, so thank you, viewer. You know who you are. And it's going to be on Pluto, natal Pluto, squaring, opposing, or conjuncting your natal sun. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed and who like and share my videos, because this helps them to circulate out to more and more individuals just like you who are needing this information. So thank you, all of you. All right, so let's get started. Okay. All right. And the title of this video is going to be Pluto in aspect to the Sun. And if any of you would like a written copy, then just send me an email and I would be happy to send you that. In general, when Pluto aspects the Sun, there has been and will be an intensified emphasis to creatively develop a special purpose in life. This aspect promotes an awareness within the individual of the power to create a personal reality that reflects this special purpose and reason for being. Wow. Thus, the individual has been learning to take control of his or her own destiny and to shape or create it through strength of will. Wow. If the results of this ongoing process have been positive, the individual can creatively transform any activity or area of life to which he or she applies the will and purpose. For this process to be positive, the person must learn how to link the individual purpose to a socially relevant need. If the individual does not learn how to do so, then the possibility arises of remaining in a narcissistic vacuum of personal creativity that is not allowed to be meaningfully expressed to others. Okay, I'm going to read that sentence again. That is very, very essential. Okay. If the individual does not learn how to do so, then the possibility arises of remaining in a narcissistic vacuum of personal creativity that is not allowed to be meaningfully expressed to others. And those of you that this sounds right for what I just read, don't feel bad, because now, right at this moment of you viewing this reading, is where you can turn everything around, because you are becoming consciously aware. Okay. And you weren't consciously aware of this before. Okay. The evolutionary process has also been teaching these individuals about the limits of personal power, of what they can and cannot do. Even though the lesson has been to teach these individuals how to take control of their lives and to create their destiny with the strength of their wills, the destiny or purpose itself has some limitation. This limitation is linked to or based upon the actual role that these individuals are destined to play within a societal or cultural context. They must learn how to accept this limitation, yet to create their reality, identity, purpose, and destiny within it. Often, this aspect will promote an active identification with larger than life figures who symbolize social power or who have transcended society altogether. As an example, let's say a person has a serious interest in psychology and wishes to become a psychologist. Commonly, the individual would identify with and form a vicarious relationship to exalted figures within the field of psychology: Jung, Freud, Skinner, and so forth. By identifying with the exalted figure, the individual would, by osmosis, extract the essence of power of that exalted figure into him or herself. The ideas, principles, methods, techniques, beliefs, and so on. In so doing, the individual would reformulate what was extracted in a unique, creative, and personal way. Pluto aspecting the sun promotes a cyclic Pluto aspecting the sun promotes a cyclic regeneration, renewal, or metamorphosis of the individual's personal creativity and purpose throughout life. Ever greater dimensions of the individual are clinically revealed. Herein lies a source of potential frustration and limitation. Even though the individual may have a glimpse or even a total awareness of what is possible for him or her to achieve and become, the actualization of those potentials must occur at certain stages in life, and only at those stages. In some cases, depending on the evolutionary and karmic signature, these individuals can attract or come through a parent, commonly the father, or the parent who wields the most authority, who dominates the development of the individual. In other words, the parent attempts to shape the individual's purpose and identity with the strength of his or her will. The individual may feel intimidated in varying degrees of intensity. This intimidation may influence the individual to play out his or her purpose and destiny just as the parent did, and conform to the parent's desires. Such parental dominance tends to extinguish the light of the individual's own purpose and creativity. Yet, because the evolutionary need has been and is for the individual to develop his or her own creative purpose and destiny, this situation will usually promote a scene or confrontation at some key developmental point. This confrontation normally leads to a reformulation or metamorphosis of the relationship. Either the parent is left in the dust, or the parent changes in such a way as to accommodate and encourage the active development of the individual's own unique identity and purpose. In other cases, depending upon the evolutionary and karmic signature, these individuals can attract or come through a parent who totally supports and encourages the active development of the individual's own unique and creative identity and purpose. Such a parent will teach that life and reality is what you make of it. You can do anything that you want if you commit yourself to whatever it is that you want to become. In some cases, the individual can attract a parent who fulfills this role and another parent who fulfills the first role. The specific karmic requirements and needs must be discerned to understand why this has happened and what to do about it. In general, then, those with Pluto aspecting the sun have something very special to accomplish. Let me read that sentence again. Those with Pluto aspecting the sun have something very special to accomplish. This purpose can lead them into a life of relative fame, recognition, adulation, and acclaim relative to what their special purpose is. In certain karmic situations generally associated with an abuse of power or refusal to acknowledge the limits of that power, this acknowledgement and acclaim will not occur. That's important. I'm going to read that one too. That's important. Wow. In certain karmic situations, generally associated with an abuse of power or refusal to acknowledge the limits of that power, this acknowledgement and acclaim will not occur. And what I'm getting intuitively to say also is that this very well could have everything to do with having to work through your personal south nodal work first before this acclaim or whatever acknowledgement, whatever positive is going to happen, be enabled to happen, because that could be the blockage. Very, very, very strongly I'm getting that for a lot of you, if not all of you, or all of us, let's say. Okay. Because I too, my natal sun opposes my Pluto. Yes, very, very hard work. Okay, let's continue. Oh, and I would like to say here, those who I freely and openly put all of my natal information, for those of you who want to look at my natal wheel as well, you are free to do so. I just feel that is so important for astrologers to do, and most don't. And so again, that's why I have chosen to do that very thing. And all of my information is in the drop-down box below this video and all of my videos. Okay. Let's continue now. Okay, so in this case, the individual will live a life of exposure to the achievements of others while being reduced to relative insignificance by society or others. The enforced limitation must be used to develop an objective awareness as to why this situation has occurred. The individual can then grow in such a way as to be free of this condition in this life, or be freed in the next life, experience, or incarnation. It is important to remember that this aspect promotes a compulsive need to eliminate all conditions or dynamics that prevent the uncovering or realization of the individual's personal core of power and individuality. Because the person has been learning to creatively express or project this personal power and purpose, there can be an unconscious desire to be acknowledged as special, powerful, or important, and thus create a danger of getting hung up on self-glorification. On the negative side, the means to achieve power can be quite underhanded, manipulative, or ruthless, even criminal in certain cases. In a positive expression, the person would not permit him or herself to fall prey to these means of achieving his or her special purpose or destiny. The individual would realize or understand the legitimate means to establish and actualize his or herself, and would challenge or attack those that attained power and recognition through negative or illegitimate means. Many people with Sun Pluto aspects are compulsively drawn to controlling or manipulating the individual expression of other people, especially those with whom they are in close relationship. In this negative way, they are continually trying to reformulate the behavior of another according to the standards of conduct that they feel is right. Of course, this attitude normally promotes confrontation, and emotionally tense scenes and separations often occur. The resulting emotional shock will leave the individual in varying degrees of devastation. On the brighter side, this experience will promote an awareness of the dynamics operating within the individual that created the problem. Conversely, some individuals will seek out relationships or situations in which they become absorbed or merged with the power and will of another. In this negative way, they unconsciously desire and attempt to become powerful and meaningful through a vicarious association with another's power and purpose. In the end, such an association will degenerate until there is a parting of the ways. This will occur through necessary confrontation so that these people learn to create their own purpose and destiny based on their own self-actualized efforts. Positively, individuals with the Sun-Pluto aspect will not only actualize their own power and creative purpose, but also encourage others to actualize themselves along the lines that are most natural to their own development and evolutionary capacities. They will perpetually act in this way and will not tolerate others who do not. The very symbol of their life can serve as an example for others to develop the courage to be free of the unnecessary limitations in their own lives. Okay, well, that is all I have. And I hope this was helpful to each and every one of you in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Until next time. Bye.